Hey, two Pushy Dames there.
Hey, we're pushing Dame.
Pushing
Pushy
back
Dames.
on the push down. I always get it wrong. Anyway, yes, we are talking today about some ideas to do with children.
Light.
Ooh, in January. January's coming, so we wanted to just talk about a great topic that will relate to children and what they're living every day. Again, curriculum should connect to what they are living and experiencing.
You're right.
It shouldn't be like, let's do safari in January because,
Well, what the hell?
And
Not for nothing,
safari anyway.
unless you're living in Alaska, like you probably shouldn't be doing curriculum on Eskimos. It's just not appropriate for kids.
Penguins. Don't forget the penguins.
Flipping penguins. We live in the Northeast. We live on the ocean, beach is good, all that kind of stuff. But in January, it's dark really early and it's cold. And it might be a good idea to bring some light into your programming.
Bring light in, yes.
And light's also a good thing, if we had talked about this a month ago, to do instead of doing Christmas kind of stuff. Focus on light instead. Light, everybody understands light.
Yeah, and most of the cultures and holidays have something to do with light too. So that makes a nice connection too.
Yeah, but we still haven't taken our Christmas lights down, and kids are driving home from school. They're not. Hopefully, they're not driving. They're in the car with somebody else who's driving.
We're pushing so much,
but, I know,
the
right?
kids might be driving.
Yeah, we might as well give them a license when they're through. But they are seeing lights on houses. They're looking at the Christmas lights. The light has meaning right now.
Yep, they see that it gets dark early.
Yep.
They're leaving school and it's pitch black out. So yeah, I think light's important for kids to recognize and explore. So some of the things we have to talk about.
Well, I was just going to say this. One of the first things an infant notices is light. When you say, do you see the light?
Sensory.
And they look up at the light. Ah, the light. Babies look up at the light because they understand that.
And we talk about sensory all the time and how important it is to incorporate sensory experiences. So light is a sensory experience. So let's look at that.
All right. So how about some flashlights, right? Here
Flashlights are awesome.
So...
Ooh, yes. Have some
fun
with flashlights.
All of a sudden, whoa, look at that. How fancy that is. It's got like a red light on one end and a regular light. And this came from CVS. I mean, this is not an expensive
Dollar
flashlight.
Store has little flashlights and big flashlights, actually.
But another thing that's really cool to do, you know how kids love to, I don't have a truck with me, but I'm just going to grab a phone. So let's pretend this is a truck and I'm driving this along, If you take a light and you put it on the front of the truck, a 4-year-old can get it to work, but I can't. You put the light on there and you just tape it on so the kids are driving their cars around the block area, but now they have lights on the front of them.
Yeah. And I mean, you're going to find children are going to want to fight over it, so make sure you have a few. Like, make sure you have enough. And again, dollar store, $1. I mean, batteries are $1 too.
Right.
They're at the dollar store.
What a great way to bring kids to circle time for a story. Oh, let's read the book today with a flashlight.
Yeah.
Let's turn the lights off, and you bring your voice down and you mellow them out a little bit, and then you read the story. Once upon a time.
Yeah. Do you have to put that in my eyes? Yeah, don't put it in anyone's eyes.
Sweater on.
Yeah.
I know.
There you go.
Anyway,
but
you get the picture.
But dimming the lights or shutting the lights off, having a flashlight, it's just a nice, warm, cozy kind of feeling that kids can get too. So some of the other things you can do is, we talked about boxes. We love boxes. They're free, and you can get them at appliance stores.
You can get them on my front porch if you let me know. I'll give you my address and I'll leave some out.
All the Amazon boxes that have showed up the past few weeks.
Yep.
But yeah, put a big box and let the kids just bring a flashlight into the box. It's a fun thing to do. You have a good idea with the.
You could also just poke little holes in the box, even with just flashlights. You can do that. But also those battery operated not tea lights. The battery. That's another idea. Like Christmas lights, strings of lights that are battery operated, and you need to make sure you don't have the string lights in a place where kids could potentially choke or get themselves in trouble with it. But if you poke them into the box, you can create the illusion of stars, like a Starry Night kind of rendition, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah. And then you have the tea lights.
Yeah, we mentioned tea lights. Obviously not real candles. Don't light matches with kids. But these little battery-operated tea lights, you can do some neat things with these too. Even if you just set them out. Put them in the block
area. Let's see what they do with them in the block area.
These could become street lights. Who knows what the kids might decide to do. Might be fun to put a couple of them on the table at your, if you have a dramatic play area, or even your own mealtime. Hide them in the sand table and see if kids can discover the light inside the sand table. That kind of thing.
And light tables. Light tables are very expensive.
Yep.
So think about creating your own light table by getting a Rubbermaid container. make sure it has a top. Put the battery operated Christmas lights or string of lights inside it. Flip it and make sure it's clear on the other side, and then you have a light table. It's cheap.
It's easy. A lot like the big Rubbermaid boxes. I have them under my bed to put sweaters in and things like that. So the big giant ones, and you could get smaller ones and make more than one light table.
A little small Rubbermaid clear see-through container, put some of the lights in, and it's a light table.
And then kids like to put things on top of the light table, and you might have to not guide it, but you might have to put things out there for them to see, oh, they look different when there's light there. It's also reflective, like if you put things on top of a mirror. It's nice to see things in a different, from a different perspective.
And cellophane is a great material to use when you're using light because it shines through. It might reflect the light onto the wall or something
different
like
types
that.
of cellophane.
If you have one of those old projectors,
any kind of projection is cool. Even if you have a projector, you can see shadows that way. Shadows are a really neat.
Shadow puppets.
Shadow puppets.
Oh, no,
hey, I could do a rooster.
Oh, there you go.
But I remember when my daughter was little, the first time she saw her shadow, and it freaked her out because she's like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy!" And,
someone's following me.
She didn't know what to do, and she couldn't get away from it. Obviously, and here I find fun in that.
You would, yeah.
At the time, I just was like, I know exactly what's happening. She's never seen her shadow before, so shadows are really cool. But if you have a projector, either up against a piece of paper or up against the screen, and you can put things on top of it. So if you put a little horse and you put a block that's shaped like a triangle, kids can see that being projected elsewhere too.
Yeah, get one of those big flashlights, and when a child makes a block structure, you can put the flashlight behind the structure and it'll reflect onto the wall, and they can see their block structure as a shadow. And it's a cool, fun, easy thing.
If you put big paper back there, kids might say, ooh, I can create a blueprint. Let me go and
it's that good. Yeah,
see, brilliant. Tell me about that thing with the moon.
Oh, the moon.
Telling me about.
So a fun activity to do with children too is as homework. Remember, we don't want children to have homework, but this is a fun thing to do at home. We
call it family engagement instead of homework.
It is very nice.
But people like to think their 4-year-old has homework for some ridiculous reason.
So ask the parent to go home and draw a picture of what the moon looks like. You can start it on a full moon night, and then once a week you can just remind them, don't forget to draw a picture of what the moon looks like, and they're going to see the progression of the moon. It's so cool. So over a month's period of time, they do 5 or 6 drawings of the moon. They can recognize. Children will see how the moon changes.
And more importantly, more importantly, they're doing something every night with their parent. So it's not, go home and read for 20 minutes to your child or put your phone down. It's, we have to go out and look at the moon. Let's go and look, Mommy, let's go look at the moon. Or the dad, hi, John, we need to go out and look at the moon. Come on, your teacher wants to see what the moon looks like. Stuff like that can be really cool.
And again, moon is light, right?
Of course.
Of course, it's right.
And light is magical, see? Ooh. There you go.
There we go. All right, folks.
Light makes a difference.
Think about light and using light in January. See ya.
Have a good day.